Two black teenage sisters were removed from their first-class seats. Their phone call? Straight to the CEO. Their father? He grounded the flight. "We need you to leave the cabin now," a flight attendant said coldly. "But this is our seat. We paid for it," Jasmine replied. "It's been flagged. Step out before we call security." All eyes burned into Jasmine and her younger sister Kyla as they stood, confused, humiliated, trying to hold their composure. No warning, no crime, just the color of their skin and 2 seats the crew decided they didn't deserve. But what the airline didn't realize was who they had just humiliated. This isn't just a story about racism. It's about what happened next, after the sisters called their dad, and power answered injustice at 35,000 feet. Jasmine and Kyla, aged 17 and 15, were no strangers to flying. Their father worked in aviation. First-class cabins, European layovers, and luxury lounges were normal for them. They had been taught to carry themselves with quiet confidence, never flashy, always respectful. This flight was supposed to be routine. LAX to JFK for their aunt's surprise 50th birthday. Bags packed. Tickets scanned. Seats confirmed. Everything seemed normal. But as they settled into their premium seats, Jasmine felt something shift. A flight attendant's glance lingered too long. A whisper from a nearby passenger. Forced, stiff smiles. Something was off. Kyla leaned in and whispered, "Do you feel that?" They weren't new to this. They had been stared at before. But this felt colder. Before the cabin doors could close, things escalated. A flight attendant walked past them once. Then again. And again. Jasmine offered a polite smile. No response. Minutes later, another crew member approached, holding a clipboard. "We need to verify your tickets," she said flatly. Confused but composed, Jasmine handed hers over. The attendant frowned, nodded, and disappeared. Then came the announcement. "Passengers Jasmine and Kyla Bennett, please gather your belongings." Gasps. Eyes turned. Whispers spread across the cabin. The sisters stood slowly, stunned. "What's the problem?" Jasmine asked softly. "No explanation. We need you to exit now." Kyla's voice cracked. "We didn't do anything." Still, they were escorted off. No eye contact. No apology. No explanation. Just silence and shame as they stepped off the plane. A security officer stood waiting. "We received a report that you were sitting in the wrong seats." But their boarding passes told a different story. Clear, legitimate, indisputable. That's when Jasmine quietly pulled out her phone and whispered, "Call Dad." Within minutes, a supervisor rushed over. Then another. The atmosphere shifted sharply as Jasmine calmly held up her boarding pass again, and then placed a call. She didn't need to raise her voice. She didn't need to explain. Because their dad wasn't just any father. He was the CEO of the airline. Inside the cockpit, a call came in from Central Command. Then another. Within moments, the captain stood up and walked out of the cabin, visibly pale. A crackling voice came over the intercom. "This flight is delayed due to an unexpected crew protocol violation." Back at the gate, Jasmine remained calm as managers approached, rushed, apologetic, anxious. One tried to apologize. Another attempted an explanation. But Jasmine said nothing. Not until a corporate liaison arrived. Out of breath, head bowed. "I'm so sorry. Mr. Bennett is requesting the immediate grounding of this aircraft pending internal review." Passengers were asked to disembark. Phones lit up. News began to spread. Kyla looked over at her sister and whispered, "I guess they believe us now." The flight never took off that day. But a much bigger journey had just begun. Later, the airline issued a formal statement. Multiple staff members were placed on administrative leave. But Jasmine and Kyla didn't post about it. They didn't seek headlines or public attention. They didn't need to, because their silence had already spoken louder than anything else. This wasn't just about 2 seats in first class. It was about how many times Black girls are told, without words, that they don't belong. No matter how qualified. No matter how poised. No matter how legitimate. But that day, the lie unraveled. The very people the crew dismissed were the daughters of the man who ran the entire airline. Next time, maybe they'll look beyond the skin and see the story. Or maybe not. But someone will always be watching.